The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, amma ba'd fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, in the previous episode we heard about the beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's declaration of prophethood. In this episode, we're going to discuss the journey of the Prophet Alaihi Salam to Taif. Inshallah, we will listen to what took place in that journey, the circumstances, and the lessons, the guidance it contains for us. But before this, let's listen to an excellence of Durood Sharif. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "The one who recited 100 salawat upon me, Allah Almighty writes between both his eyes that he is free from hypocrisy and hellfire, and he will keep him with the martyrs on Judgment Day." Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When Abu Talib and Sayyidah Khadija radiyallahu anha passed away, the people of Makkah began to cause various problems in the life of the Holy Prophet alayhi salam. Despite making efforts 1,000 times, when the people of Makkah did not embrace faith, in order to preach Islam, he ﷺ headed towards the settlements in the suburbs of Makkah. Hence, for this purpose, he ﷺ set out for the journey to Taif. This journey to Taif was extremely painful and exhausting for the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and he did not forget this throughout his life. Hence, there is a lengthy hadith. A part of this hadith is that once al-Mu'mineen Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu anha asked the Holy Prophet ﷺ, "Ya Rasulullah, have you experienced a harder day than the day of the Battle of Uhud?" The Prophet ﷺ replied, "Yes, Aisha. That day was even harder than the Battle of Uhud for me when I invited the chief Abdi Alil to Islam in Taif." Dear viewers, what happened in that journey to Taif? What was the reaction of the people of Taif to the invitation of the Prophet ﷺ when he invited them towards Tawheed and his prophethood? It's a quite painful journey. Let's listen to that journey. Now, at a distance of 120 miles from Makkah, there's a city named Taif, where the tribe of Banu Thaqif lived. Now, by profession, they were agriculturists. Taif is a fertile and rich settlement. The chiefs of Makkah had also built their houses there. Now, when the hot weather of Makkah would be unbearable, they would move to Taif for comfort. Now, a wall had been built around this city for protection. Therefore, it's called Taif. The people of this land had orchards laden with fruits and gardens filled with flowers. They were very prosperous, but the attitude of these people was that they would remain intoxicated by wealth. Taif is a fertile and rich settlement. The chiefs of Makkah had also built their houses there. Now, when the hot weather of Makkah would become unbearable, they would move to Taif to comfort themselves. Now, a wall had been built around this city for protection. Therefore, it's called Taif. The people of this land, they had orchards laden with fruits and gardens filled with flowers. They were quite prosperous and wealthy. Now, as it is the way of the wealthy people, that they remain intoxicated by wealth, the people of Taif were no different. The city of Taif became the center of attention for the Holy Prophet ﷺ because of its distinct qualities. He ﷺ had some relationship too with the tribe of Thaqif. Keeping all these things in mind, the Holy Prophet ﷺ chose Taif to preach Islam. Hence, in the 10th year of Nubuwwah, after the declaration of prophethood, he ﷺ departed from Makkah to Taif so that he would invite Banu Thaqif to Islam and so that their hearts would embrace the invitation of Islam, and thus Islam will attain such devotees who will perform the duty of spreading the true religion of the Lord Almighty in every nook and cranny of the world, and they would strengthen Islam. Now, during this journey, the Holy Prophet ﷺ's slave, Sayyiduna Zayd bin Haritha, was also with him. In Taif, very wealthy people used to live there. Now, amongst these affluent people, the family of Amr was regarded as the chief of all tribes. There were three brothers, Abdi Alil, Mas'ud, and Habib. The Holy Prophet ﷺ went to all three of them and invited them to Islam. They did not embrace Islam, and in return, they gave indecent, blasphemous replies. These unfortunate people did not stop here. Rather, they made immoral youth of the city chase the Prophet ﷺ. They gathered in the form of a procession and began to chase the Prophet ﷺ. They would reproach him, abuse him, and whilst raising the slogan of their idols, they pursued the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When the Prophet ﷺ, in this situation, passed by them, they began to pelt stones. They would throw stones at his feet until his blessed feet became wounded and bloodstained. And when their stoning would intensify, the Holy Prophet ﷺ would sit out of the severity of the pain. But those oppressors would step forward, ma'adallah, grab his arms and would make him stand up and would start pelting stones and would laugh aloud. In this state of helplessness, Sayyiduna Zayd bin Haritha radiyallahu anh would stand as a shield to protect the Prophet ﷺ. Many stones hit the head of Zayd bin Haritha. Now thus, the ill-fated citizens of Taif, they sent off this honorable and respectable guest of theirs from their city. Allahu Akbar. Now dear viewers, you saw the immoral behavior the people of Taif displayed. The abundance of wealth, the prosperity of the city, and the family discrimination had made them like Fir'aun. They did not respect anybody. And this was the help from Allah Almighty and the high courage of the Prophet ﷺ that he ﷺ, along with his slave Zayd bin Haritha, went to invite the people of Taif to Islam alone. On one hand, you have the Prophet ﷺ and his slave Sayyiduna Zayd bin Haritha, and on the other hand, the entire people of Taif. This was a courageous, bold action. And this was from the duty of the Prophet ﷺ, because it is obligatory upon a Prophet to convey the commandments of Allah Almighty to people. Allah Almighty proclaims in the Holy Quran, O Messenger, convey whatever has been sent down upon you from your Lord. When the Prophets receive the order of preaching from Allah Almighty, then they do not fear the creation at all. They even risk their lives for this purpose. For example, ma'adallah, the enemies of Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salam murdered him. Allah Almighty safeguarded the Prophet ﷺ and raised the flag of Islam. Now, since no Prophet will come after the Holy Prophet ﷺ, therefore the task of the invitation to Tawheed, oneness of Allah, and the prophethood of Rasulullah ﷺ has been assigned to this ummah. Allah Almighty proclaims in the Holy Quran, translation from Kanzul Iman, O nation of the Prophet Muhammad, you are the best among all nations which appeared amongst people. Why are we the best? Allah Almighty states its reason too. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. You command good and forbid evil. وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. And you believe in Allah. This is the responsibility of Muslims until Judgment Day. They should enjoin good and forbid evil. Remember that enjoining good is the great responsibility and designation which Allah Almighty granted to His Prophets ﷺ. And when Allah Almighty sent His beloved Prophet ﷺ and closed the door of prophethood eternally, He blessed the ummah of His beloved ﷺ with this honor. And because of this great virtue, He declared them to be the best nation. Hence, every Muslim should constantly enjoin good and forbid evil according to his ability. It is mentioned in a hadith, it was said to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, who is the best amongst people? He ﷺ said, the one who fears his Lord Allah Azza wa Jal the most, maintains ties of kinship the most, enjoins good the most, and forbids evil the most. That person is the best. Now, dear viewers of Madani Channel, the account of Taif has not ended. The people of Taif wounded the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and his blessed feet were bleeding. Now there was an orchard nearby. The Holy Prophet ﷺ went to that orchard and sat under a grapevine. Coincidentally, that orchard belonged to an affluent person of Makkah named Rabi'ah, who was the worst enemy of Islam and the Holy Prophet ﷺ. On that day, both the sons of Rabi'ah, Utbah and Shayba, were present in the orchard. They themselves had observed how the immoral youth, the boys of Taif, treated the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Though they were the enemies of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, but because they had observed the cruel behavior of the people of Taif, they became emotional and stirred up. They had a slave whose name was Addas. They said to him, take a bunch of grapes, put them on a plate, and take it to that individual. Addas kept a bunch of grapes, placed them on a plate, and went to the Holy Prophet ﷺ and said, please eat this. When the Holy Prophet ﷺ recited Bismillah and touched the bunch of grapes, Addas surprisingly said, the people of this village do not utter this Shahada. The Holy Prophet ﷺ asked him, where's your home country? He replied, I am an inhabitant of the city Nainwa. He ﷺ said, that is the city of Sayyidina Yunus ﷺ. Hearing this, Addas became most surprised and said, how do you know Yunus? He ﷺ said, he is my brother. He was a prophet and I am also a prophet. Addas stood up and first he bowed and kissed the blessed head and then kissed both his hands and then he kissed the blessed feet. Utbah and Shayba were observing the entire scene. When Addas went back to them, they scolded him and said, woe to you, why did you begin to kiss that person's hands? He replied, nobody throughout the world is better than this personality. He told me such a thing which nobody except a prophet can tell. Now while returning from this journey, when the Prophet ﷺ passed by Nakhla, he stayed there. He was reciting the Holy Quran in Tahajjud Salah at night when a group of jinns, Nasibain, arrived in the court of the Prophet ﷺ. And listening to the Holy Quran, all those jinns embraced Islam. Then the jinns returned and told their nation about it. So a group of jinns frequently arrived in Makkah and embraced Islam. The views of Madani Channel, like this, many hindrances occurred in the preaching of Islam. Despite this, Islam kept flourishing day by day. Now, the people of Taif, they, instead of accepting the invitation, extremely oppressed the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And he was distressed about this, that not even a single person from amongst the people of Taif embraced faith. And now to comfort the restless heart of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, Allah Almighty granted the group of jinns the honor of embracing Islam. The Holy Prophet ﷺ stayed in Nakhla for a few days, and then he went to the site of Hira. His companion Sayyidina Zayd bin Harisa radiallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how will you go to Makkah, whereas the people there are thirsty for our blood? Sayyidina Zayd suggested, according to the custom of the Arabs, we should take refuge with someone and then enter Makkah. So he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sent this message to a prominent chief of Quraysh, Mut'im bin Adi, saying, can you provide me a refuge? It was the tradition of the Arabs that when anybody would seek support and refuge with them, it didn't matter how big an enemy they were, they could not refuse to provide refuge to that person. Hence, Mut'im bin Adi took the Holy Prophet ﷺ in his refuge and he ordered his sons to go to the Haram with their weapons, and Mut'im bin Adi himself mounted a horse and brought the Holy Prophet ﷺ to Makkah with himself and took him to the sacred Haram and made the announcement in a crowd of people saying, I have given Muhammad ﷺ refuge. After this, the Holy Prophet ﷺ calmly kissed Hajr Aswad, performed tawaf of the Holy Kaaba and offered salah in the Haram. And Mut'im bin Adi and his sons escorted the Holy Prophet ﷺ to his blessed house in the shadow of swords. Dear viewers, in this episode we discussed the journey of the Prophet ﷺ towards Taif. This journey of the Prophet ﷺ is one of the most important aspects of his life which can never be forgotten. And there are many lessons. Lessons of love, affection, forbearance, tolerance, sacrifice for a great cause, firm determination and high courage, all in regards to the preaching of Islam. And during the journey to Taif, the afflictions and agonies which the Prophet ﷺ had to encounter, if anybody else had to encounter them, he would have lost heart and become hopeless and adopted reclusion. But the vast chest of the Prophet ﷺ had a shining, illuminating heart and was abounding with the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was a well-wisher, a sympathizer of the creation. Hence, long after this journey, once al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha asked the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, have you experienced a day which was harder than the day of the Battle of Uhud? The Prophet alayhi salam said, yes Aisha, that day was even harder than the Battle of Uhud for me when I invited the chief Abdi Alil to Islam in Taif, but he contemptibly rejected the invitation to Islam and the people of Taif pelted stones at me. While sad and aggrieved, I kept on walking until I reached a place, Qarnu Tha'alib. After reaching there, when I raised my head, I saw that a cloud was overshadowing me. In that cloud, Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam called me and said, Allah Almighty has heard the opinion of your nation and their reply. And now the angel of the mountains is present in your court in order to follow your order. The Prophet ﷺ states, the angel of the mountain said salam to me and said, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty has heard the opinion of your nation and their reply to you, and has sent me to serve you so that I can obey what you order me to do. Whatever you wish. If you want me to turn both the mountains, Abu Qubais and Qu'ayqi'an, upon these disbelievers, I will do so. Hearing this, the Holy Prophet ﷺ replied, no, in fact, I hope that Allah Almighty will create such people from amongst their generations who will worship only Allah Almighty and will not associate anything with Him. Dear viewers, after the rebellion of the people of Taif, Allah Almighty had given the Holy Prophet ﷺ an offer, saying, if you wish, they will be wiped out. Allah Almighty had left this decision to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Now, as the people of Taif belied and oppressed him ﷺ, they deserved punishment. They deserved to be crushed between the mountains. But because of the great cause of Islam and the Prophet ﷺ's kindness, he ﷺ overlooked the people of Taif, thinking it's possible that such people will be born amongst their generations who will wholeheartedly irrigate the tree of Islam in the future. From this incident, we also learn a lesson about how big-hearted, how courageous a leader should be. A person who is dominated by his temporary emotions, he cannot make sacrifices for causes. We learn about the kindness of the Prophet ﷺ, how kind he was towards the Ummah. Allah Almighty stated His kindness, politeness and generosity in the Holy Quran as follows, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And we did not send your beloved but as a mercy for all the worlds. Now under this verse, it is mentioned in the commentary Siratul Jinan that Sayyidina Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu anhuma narrates that the Prophet ﷺ, being a mercy, is inclusive of Muslims and non-Muslims. For a Muslim, he ﷺ is a mercy in the world and the hereafter, both. And for a non-Muslim, he ﷺ is a mercy in the world, because due to him ﷺ, the punishment in the world has been delayed, and the punishment of sinking into the earth, distorting the faces and wiping people out has been lifted. Dear viewers on Madani Channel, for Islam, he ﷺ did not only go to Taif. He went to other tribes, gave the invitation to oneness, his prophethood. It was the practice of the Prophet ﷺ that during the days of Hajj, when Arab tribes would come from far, they would gather in Makkah. The Holy Prophet ﷺ would also go to these fairs that were held to preach Islam. Every breath of the Prophet ﷺ passed in raising the word of truth. We should also follow the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and spread the invitation to Islam and act upon the order of enjoining good and forbidding evil. May Allah Almighty enable us to understand the seerah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ as it should rightfully be understood, and to act upon his sunnah by virtue of his beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dear viewers, in the next episode, we will discuss a great miracle of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, i.e. Mi'raj. Where did the Mi'raj start? Where did it end? In what state did it occur? Why is Mi'raj considered one of the greatest miracles? What gifts were granted to the Holy Prophet ﷺ in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We will discuss all of this in the next episode, inshallah. Until then, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect and preserve you. Ameen. Bijahin Nabi al-Ameen. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The beloved Prophet's life in Makkah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.